This is what we call a forward control Jeep. Really, spare parts are not so difficult to come by.
From the misty hills of Shillong comes a story of passion, history, and possession. Meet vintage auto collector Mr. Ashok Lyngdoh, a man who does not just restore vehicles, he revives history. So, can you just tell us a brief about your passion?
Yeah, it's a passion that started very early in life, and along the way it has progressed. I never thought that I would actually have so many of them. I thought I'd start off with just a Jeep, and so I started off with the Second World War Jeep, and then confidence grows because prior to that I had no experience with these vintage vehicles. So I wasn't even sure whether I'd actually get the spare parts or actually have mechanics who could come and fix them. So once I fixed the Jeep, then it started increasing. So then I got another one. I got the green Morris that you saw, and so your uh, Bob Lyngdoh, who was the Home Minister of Meghalaya. So we're very close with him. So he one day told me, he says, "You're not going to stop with two." And I never realized how prophetic his words would be. So, but it's a lovely interest. It's a lovely passion. A lot of frustration, a lot of patience you have to have. About those two Jeeps that were parked in my parents' house. So from that time, I don't know, I fell in love with all these old Jeeps and old cars and things. But being a small boy, you can't really, do much about it. So it was only when, I became a man that I could actually, fulfill what I wanted to do. And so,
You were always so passionate
yeah,
about
yeah,
the
cars, yeah, yeah. I always had dinky cars. I always had Matchbox, Corgi of the vintage cars. Not so much the contemporary ones. I like the old ones because they have a lot of character. Every car sounds different. And no two cars are like. Like say, say this model. Now, if somebody gives me his one to drive, I'll find it a little bit of a problem because that car will reflect his personality. This one will reflect mine. So they like horses, but then again, like horses, it's not so easy to ride someone else's horse. It's easier to ride your own. You see what your horse wants, and the horse knows what you want. So it's the same thing with them. So we restored it again. Now it's running beautifully. And this one here, this Willys station wagon 1955. This vehicle is a very special one again because I didn't know that this vehicle was in the scrapyard, and I had a dream, and somebody told me in my dream. They said, "Go to Shantilal's scrapyard. Something's waiting for you." So I went there and I found this there. So I asked him. I said, whether it's for sale or not. He said everything's for sale. So I picked it up because since the vehicle had called me, and the one next to it, this is a forward control. And this is a 1956 model. It's got the same Jeep engine, the same Jeep chassis. And the interesting thing about this is I found the cabin in Polytechnic Mawlai. And the rest of the Jeep was missing. There was nothing else, just the cabin. No windshield, no nothing. So, I went around looking around and I found everything. And then we put it together and it runs very well now. Yeah.
So it would be a challenge, sir, finding all this. How long did it take to
Not very long. Not very long. It took us about a year and a half. Yeah. Year and a half. And this one here is also very special because this was my father's official car when he was Deputy Commissioner of the district of Nagaon in Assam. And it was lying there in the circuit house. We didn't know about it. And my father last drove this in '64. And in 2010, we came to know that this car is still there. So I went to Nagaon, met the people there. They helped me. They had a proper auction and everything. And then I brought it to Shillong and restored it. It runs beautifully. It's got a huge engine. It's a 4,200 cc. This is a Birmingham small arms. It's also called a BSA M20. This is 1941. This took part in the Battle of Kohima, and this is a survivor of that battle. And it was lying in Nagaland for many, many years, and it wasn't restored. And so somehow I managed to get my hands on it, and it came to me in 3 gunny bags. So we restored the motorcycle, and then we put on a sidecar as well. So incidentally, this is the same model of motorcycle that was used in the movie Sholay, where you had Dharmender and Amitabh Bachchan, and you had that famous scene where the sidecar parts from the motorcycle. So this is the same model.
So,
It's the
sir, how
same
long
model.
did it take to restore it?
It took us about 2 years or so. Luckily, spare parts are not so difficult to come by for this, because a lot of spare parts are being manufactured in Delhi. So it was not too difficult to restore.
Where did you got this from?
This one I found in near the Umrah airport. There's a bridge there. Right next to the bridge, there was a house, and it was thrown there. So I picked it up from there. This one I got from the ITI Shillong. It's at Rinja. So I managed to get this after about 15 years, because it's a government property. Very difficult to get things out. So it took me 15 years to get this. Yeah. This red one here is an Italian Fiat. It's a 1961. I don't restore them. I revive them. It's like, see, when my car that comes to me as a wreck, and the first time that the engine actually starts, it's almost like hearing your baby's first cry. So the emotional connect is that strong with them. Yeah.
Thank you. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you for
You're welcome.
taking
You're
us
welcome.
through the journey.
You're welcome.
And I hope a lot of people, they get inspired, they get to restore and revive their culture, their history, so that it lives within us. This is Niharika Chaudhary for Hub News with cameraman Prakash Verma.
Nangni jangi tangani sawo cherong bata nangni gisik ma thanung de aga nonga prni chagate exercise karong bo ni bagi skte agan ska ondisa tusiko bo dao thanung aga nenga gito komi chabo benan sengi donggen ni bagi skte skjainga wa maman salanti parata charunga mamu jade thanung agan skainga knal mai ba dakaba sabisi ko mane mang chana mansran jajo de maila nan thung salat tuchi chuliat bo ni bagi skan manija Chao gemukon sagene chansia. Ansing gemukan masya. Ya to chini bakari ko agri chao de ansing be na namja. Ani ba mai dake. Ansing chansia chao ra ngara malasa malagen. Waingen. Angara film star aro Olympic kalak barungja. Ani ba to kari chini chani ko khomia chao de. High blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, makron ka khomia ni, kharong te nostong ani. Yan oni je pong naman again. Aru yarang niya sel ning nikani rara ko man gen chani rngani mamu unja diwa plak nang ni jangi tangani o gemakon nang chakya geno kenan nang ni kundu masir ka ba to di yan ansing nal thupatat geno to de nang ni tango sakselat po ha ansing ni salantini chani o thoko komiat na ngode dalo ansing nita chainga ngode khasin sinu ko komiat po ha aru badita ba salang ni jamano aru untisa komiat khubo kari komiat na bi apsan kun jarak po bijak song muteng somayo khasinsin komiat na ranta karongbo aro sala doi ba bithirang ode khari kon sang nabe na cha baksa chinir ngama mamung ja rangai bo Di ba? Ata chamos komiat tirang bo. Aro ate di sal zaman? Masih jokon ba? Uni gaman chanchi bo. Nangni salan tini janggi tanganio dek prako sawa chienga. Nangni kari, chini, aru to chani ko ta aloni komiat na aba chingbo ha.